What is the scariest thing you've found on the internet? A website with everyone's name from our school in alphabetical order. This website was in no way, shape, or form related to the school district. To everyone in this thread who answered every "what is it about" question. Thank you so much. When I was like 13, I was looking around on LimeWire, or maybe it was Kazaa, for pornography, and I found legitimate CP. I deleted the file immediately. But I couldn't stop worrying about it. In the middle of the night I smashed my hard drive and buried the pieces in my backyard. For about 6 months after that I thought that the FBI was either coming to get me or at least watching me. There was a cave in Neopets in the prehistoric area that you could send your pet into. As you move deeper into the cave you start being told of a low breathing noise. Your Neopet gets very scared, but you force it to keep moving deeper into the cave. Then bam, your screen blows up with a terrifying, drooling, screaming monster. There's no exit button. Your pet has been eaten and you are 110% to blame. Until you load back to a previous page on your browser. More guilt and nightmares than a 6-year-old should ever have to deal with. That stupid Korean webcomic. Holy speep. I don't even want to bother posting it. The one with the zombie chick saying speep like "where's my baby?" Someone will have to find me the video, but it happened during World War II. This soldier was filming in Italy, I think. So the dude is on this cliffside filming down into the water/beach area. Then it happens. It appears to be 3 people just emerge out of the peeping water. Literally out of nowhere. Staring right at him. The video cuts out for a bit, then it cuts back and you see him walking into the water. Leaving his camera on the beach. He walks right into the water. Doesn't swim. Just walks in. Underwater and disappeared. You have to see the video to get the full extent of it. I'm getting chills thinking about it. I don't remember what it was, but it was this story. And it had the number 17 in it. You read through it on the guy's webpage and then you started hearing groans. You kept going and it got more intense. And then there were just screams. So many damn screams. And then an image flashed on your screen for a split second and you were exited out of the webpage. If you tried to go back in, it must have had your eye pee or something because it wouldn't let you. Scared the speep out of me. The photos of Porsche girl Nikki Katsouris come to mind. Pretty gruesome. Seriously. Here on Reddit a post about a girl who got lost in the Paris catacombs and died. It took them like 2 years to find her. I had nightmares about this for 2 weeks. Examples. I was lost in one. My brother was found dead in a catacomb. My dog ran into one and wouldn't come out. Me watching the news of police finding all kinds of dead bodies in catacombs around the world. It was awful. Max Headroom freaked me out when I was younger. That screenshot of the forum that had a bunch of guys bragging about infecting other guys with HIV. Peeped up. Well, when I was a wee lad at the young age of 12, I was using a site called Meebo to talk to all my rich friends with AIM. Now, one day, a friend and I were going to chat. But he was late. So I got on a random chat room to pass the time. When I clicked on it, however, a video opened. This was no chocolate rain or even 2 girls. 1 cup. This was something far worse. This was something called Genitals versus Hatchet. In this video, there was an epic battle between 2 men's genitals and a hatchet. The genitals valiantly tried to remain attached to the men. But down. TLDR, I saw a video of some dudes cutting their balls off with an axe when I was 12. This black background makes this page really creepy. A picture of a guy with his dick chopped off. It was in his mouth. I found a weird story on a Reddit thread of a similar title. It linked to a sketchy-ass website that looked a bit like a forum. The story was about a weird utopian family in which the father has loads of incestuous sex with his children, so that he can expand the size of their peeped-up family. The story begins with the family watching him peep one of the girls, with the goal of impregnating her. The youngest child named is Susie. She's 5 years old, and she begs her father to bang her. It was at this point that I began feeling extremely ill. The father takes Susie into a secluded room, and takes a pill that makes him go peeping bonkers on her. In the end, Susie is so messed up from the experience that robots have to mend her broken body to reverse the damage. Once the father's rape pills wear off, he realizes how terrible his actions were. And then the story ends. I felt off for days after reading this story. Truly the worst thing I've encountered. Me and my friend were just talking about this the other day. He told me he once saw this video of this naked Japanese girl in a room. She gets on the bed. And then starts to get inside a giant plastic bag. Minutes later some guy walks in and just sucks all the air out of it. She struggles for minutes that seem like hours and then dies. Willingly. 2 Asian girls. A funnel. And a bucket of eels. Eels up inside ya. Finding an entrance where they can. ProMed. ProMed Mail, the program for monitoring emerging diseases, is an internet-based reporting system dedicated to rapid global dissemination of information on outbreaks of infectious diseases and acute exposures to toxins that affect human health, including those in animals and in plants grown for food or animal feed. Electronic communications enable ProMed Mail to provide up-to-date and reliable news about threats to human, animal, and food plant health around the world, 7 days a week, by providing early warning of outbreaks of emerging and re-emerging diseases. Public health precautions at all levels can be taken in a timely manner to prevent epidemic transmission and to save lives. This is a picture of 2 brothers right before they were hit by lightning. I'm on mobile and none of these pop-ups are working. I feel brave as hell. Not really scary. But take it, this lollipop is pretty creepy. Interesting. It take the information from your Facebook and makes a video from it. Secret of a Migra fault. Audio recording of the Jonestown massacre. This Threads is like Minesweeper. Normal porn for normal people. Not scary per se. Just rather unsettling. Edited for words. Not scary. But creepy as all hell. This was posted on 4chan a couple years back and it's still the best creepypasta I've ever read. The ending is brilliant. There was actually a story I read on /r/nosleep. Now, I love horror movies and scary stories. Mostly they make me laugh because of the silliness. In this story a young boy has a stalker who he finds out had been living under his mobile home. Mostly the story just made me sad. But after a while that part of it got into my head. I live in a mobile home in the middle of the woods. We have paneling around it but sometimes wild animals will tear it aside to get under for shelter. After reading the story, I just got more and more scared that maybe it was actually someone who was going under there. My anxiety went crazy anytime I heard a noise that could have possibly come from under the house. For some people it might not be that scary. But for me, I still get nightmares. The scariest thing I've ever encountered was the story Squidward's suicide. I used to watch SpongeBob all the time until I read that. I've read a few creepypastas before, like Cupcakes and Lost Silver, but that has been the only story that has ever completely ruined something for me. Forgive me if it sounds silly, but I haven't watched an episode since. I'm looking behind me so much my neck may snap. I'll snap it for you in a second, just turn off your lights. I forget the actual name of the story on /nosleep. But it was the one about balloons. Combined every fear I had as a child with every fear I have for my children's safety as an adult. After reading that, I didn't sleep straight through the night for a week. I kept getting up to check on my kids all night long. Looking for information on a girl I knew who was killed in the Boxing Day tsunami. I stumbled across gore site photos of her bloated, rotting corpse. The before photos to prove her identity were ones I took. Number stations. Click on Swedish Rhapsody Child's voice and enjoy. Any number station's strange recordings horrify me. The most gruesome thing that I have seen, I think it is worse than the 3 guys 1 hammer, is that Russian guy that got beheaded. It was a pretty famous video. Careful, it makes even the most initiated cringe. I seen it in about 98. Just a dude with a boot on his head and a Bowie knife gets stabbed through the middle of his neck and saws outward while the dude is gurgling the whole time. I have yet to see anything that has matched that in gore. I saw this video one time that was a cartoon. It was a man sitting at a table eating something while watching the news. The news was talking about how there was some monster on the loose and people should be okay to look out. Then all of a sudden the monster bursts through the window and grabs the man. Scared the speep out of me. If anyone knows what I'm talking about and can provide a link, that would be great. That Korean webcomic. You know the one. I was lying in bed sideways reading it on my laptop and it scared me so much my legs flew up into the air and started doing running motions to get away from my laptop.